Yeah, that was really fun. Got to get everything moving there. So this next one, I actually do want to do the Schlossberg long tones, and this is, for anybody at home trying to practice these. The secret is don't change your embouchure. The only thing we're changing is your air. A lot of people like to tighten up to get soft, and that's what we're trying to eliminate with this. The entire idea is just to fall off the end of the note. Just ride the edge of the note and get into nothing. So let's give this a try. Here we go. Nice. And the last one. There we go. That was pretty fun. It's amazing. Just a little bit of work on my end on that just really kind of helps get the ends of my phrases sounding nice and feathered down to a niente. All right, your turn, Steve.
It's easy to not even notice what your releases sound like. So when you really get going,
it'll make everything sound like a polka if you're not careful.
Yeah. Okay, lip slurs. Do the next one?
Okay, but the thing that I need to, the difference between trombone and euphonium, I've been noticing that when I've been practicing this, there's an important thing that I need to work on, and that is to keep my vibrato going in between the notes, just to keep it consistent going through. And that's something I didn't even realize. I was actually stopping my vibrato when I'd start the next note, and yeah. So yeah, why don't you do it, and I'll work on that.
Vibrato. I don't know what that is, so.
It's when you jiggle the slide.
Yeah, I know. No, I use real vibrato sometimes.
It's real. It's just like 1930s real. Wow.
Now, I mean real vibrato like jaw vibrato. Let's call it legit. No, we were talking about that last time I was here. Legit vibrato. Okay. actually have a question.
Oh, sure.
Does anyone, euphonium players do lots of vibrato, that's kind of their thing. Does anyone use breath impulse vibrato like a flute when they're playing the euphonium? Do people do that?
There are some, I'll say, historical figures that kind of use that kind of an idea. So anybody who's watching at home trying to match this, and actually, depending on the country, there are some people out there that use it. So, okay, so for anybody at home, vibrato is that thing. The easiest way to get vibrato is to move your finger up and down on the string on a euphonium. Is obviously the easiest and best way to do it. But since we don't really have a string, you generally, most people start by doing like a re motion with your chin. And that's called the chin vibrato. And that's the standard one that everybody kind of does. The next one is called a lip vibrato, which is like whoa, 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 whoa. You're actually moving your aperture slightly large and then back into place. This is kind of the best way I can describe it. Then there are two kinds. So I've heard what you're describing as a diaphragmatic vibrato, where it's actually like from your abdominal muscles. Now, anybody like in like modern schools think that would just cause too much tension, except there's some recordings of some really great players back in the 50s and 60s that use it, and it's a different sound, but it still sounds like vibrato. Just, it still sounds like that. So to answer your question, I've heard some students using it because, if they're in a country where their music teacher is a flautist, for instance, or, they're not necessarily studying with somebody who's learned euphonium. They just kind of mimic what they see. And what I find is that people who do that end up having a more natural sound if they're just mimicking the sound by just coming up with a way to do it. Sometimes that breath impulse kind of works well because they're not creating tension. They're just matching a sound that they're hearing. So
I don't know what I do when I do vibrato, so I just do it.
Well, I'll tell you what I do, and it's very similar to this process. We're going to get to it here in a second. Actually, yeah, after the articulation. Let's skip the articulation study here for a second and just move on to this next one. What is the thing that lets us bend that second note down? If you look, I'm not moving my chin. I'm not moving my jaw then. And I'm really not changing my lips that much. To get that second note. So anybody who's, again, here for the first time, you see this little circle on top of that second note, it means to kind of bend that note down. I do it with a yawn, and it's actually something that happens back here. And if I get good at it, I can get my vibrato in. And it's actually not my chin, even though it kind of feels like it is at first, and then I can actually freeze my chin and still get it. So what is it? It's definitely not my abdominal muscles. Like, I know that, but I think it's just something how the air comes out. And it feels like it's something in here, but...
The shape and size of the aperture on your vocal cords actually changes the pitch when you're playing a wind instrument. I think it's more pronounced on something like a saxophone, but it does, you can bend a pitch with your vocal cords, interestingly enough.
I've known sax players who do it all the time.
Yeah.
But that's the didgeridoo effect, right? Well, not using your vocal cords.
Yeah, if you sing, then you do multiphonics. But just there's been some like footage taken of saxophone players who when they learn their instrument, they have specific positions of their vocal cords for different notes, and that they do subconsciously to bend the pitch into the right spot.
Interesting.
Like yeah.
Interesting.
It's less pronounced on brass, though.
Interesting. All right. Well, you wanna take the single tonguing exercise?
Yeah, sure.
Oh, wait a second. Did you go last time, or did I go last time? It's my turn. All right.
I went last time. Yeah, it's your turn.
All right. So let's do this one a slightly different way. We're actually going to do each measure twice. First time half tempo, second time double time. So just so we can practice what our tongue is doing slow, and then just double the speed. So 1, 2, ready. Sorry. That might have been quadruple tongue, or quadruple time, but yeah, whatever. All right.
Yeah, it's fun.
Yeah, it was actually...
Bend some notes.
That was really good. All right, your turn, Steve.
Let's bend some notes. Okay.
Awesome. All right, that felt really good. All right, moving right along. Now, haha, got the lip slurs, and I want to do this a slightly different way. So anybody following on at home, we do this all the time, but it's called flutter tonguing, where you just basically roll your R, and then you try to play while rolling your R. It's very easy. So Steve and I have been doing this for a while, so we'll just jump into it and do the best that you can. You're probably practicing doing it right now if you're watching. And if it's really bad, you can just rewind and do the same exercise over and over until you get it. So we're going to play this whole 4 lines, but what we're going to do is after every measure, we're going to go back and we're going to repeat it. Flutter tongue the first time, normal playing the second time, all in the same tempo. So ready? 1, 2, 3. Pretty easy, right? I got my fingers wrong there. So let's do this next one. All right. Your turn, Steve.
All right, let's do some pedals.
Actually,
So
one
this is,
thing, again, for anybody who's watching at home, the big thing is all of these exercises, don't move your lips. If you do move your chin, you can move your chin forward and backwards, but don't move your lips on this one. All right, sorry, Steve.
Yeah. There's very little difference between playing a pedal note and a low note. They're sort of like, it's sort of the same lips doing a different thing. Almost no difference. Okay.
Yeah, that's really fun. And if you're changing your lips, you can do it better than that. So the object of it is if you can do this without moving your lips, yeah, probably going to change your chin forward and backwards a little bit. If you can do it without changing your lips, just do that on every note, and you're going to be a much better brass player. All right, this next one, I'll do this one and I'll let Steve do the bottom half of this page. These are all the same thing. We're just going to mix that pedal with our lip slur, but make sure that your lips on the pedals are the same as your other three notes. Change your air, just like we're doing the lip bends. Change the air, but don't change your lips. Here we go. All right, your turn, Steve.
All right, this is the most fun exercise. Super awesome.
Woo, I had the hiccups there. All right, let's keep on going here. Ah, yes. These are actually this is probably my favorite page. This is all from the Pierre Thibault stuff. But we're going to, again, work on, anytime you have that circle, we're going to bend that note. So let's just play it. And remember, even though you're bending notes, you're not changing your lips for any of these. And this exercise is really good practice on doing your lip slurs the same way we got our note bends. Here we go. Nice and easy. All right, Steve, you got the next half.
This one's slightly more complicated because we got more half steps involved. And note that on the second note, you're supposed to use the second valve or second position. It's just so you use that one normally, and then you bend the other ones. Okay.
No, it's okay. Yeah, the hard part with this exercise is when you're doing those glisses is you really want it to sound just like a really long gliss instead of a ha ha ha, because that's the thing that creeps into everybody's playing when they're trying to play really clean and they kind of buzz and stop. And you get those pulses that kind of messes up your playing. So this is a perfect exercise for smoothing all that stuff out. All right. Schlossberg's, and I got all the Schlossberg 3-note studies on one page. It's a really great book, and it might not be very fun. So I'll do the first two. Steve, you can do the second two. Sound good? All right. So the entire point of this is as loud as you can for the first note, as soft as you can for the second note, but this is the entire exercise that's in that middle note, going from loud to soft and then slurring to the last note without it being broken. So if you're able to complete it, you're playing your instrument correctly. Most people can't actually do all of those things and maintain a good sound. So really focus on being able to complete what's written on the page first, good sound second. Here we go. Now, same thing backwards. As soft as you can, crescendo, and then slur into the last one. This one, most people go out of control when they slur down to that last forte note. So that's where this is more of a control situation where the last one is maintaining. It's actually better than it's been in a while, so that's good. All right, Steve, how did you do on those?
I did all right, although I have a genetic tendency to rush these. I'm going to try real hard to keep the same tempo here. Hey, you know, I said I was using the bigger mouthpiece today. I usually play in like a commercial mouthpiece, which is V-shaped and has a smaller rim diameter. And it's really hard to play loud on those because they're meant to be used with microphones. So it's fun being able to have the big mouthpiece to play loud.
Awesome.
It's hard to play loud on a little mouthpiece.
Yeah, it's one of those like, everything's a compromise, and so many people want to play with a big, loud, full sound, and then all of a sudden, those big symphonic mouthpieces aren't really as good at doing other things. So I don't know.
Yeah.
What mouthpiece are you on right now? Because it probably isn't outrageous or anything.
Oh no, it's the biggest one possible.
Oh, never mind.
This is a 4BS because I have a small bore horn. So the 4BS is as big as you can get.
Interesting.
Although I guess Bach has the 3. Normally I play in a 19, which has a 24 millimeter inner rim.
Wow, but that's almost a French horn mouthpiece.
No, but it has a very V-shaped cup. It's to sort of get if you want like a Tommy Dorsey kind of sound.
Yeah, so. You mean like smooth and dark and like a euphonium?
Yeah, actually, and I use it on my euphonium too. I was using an 11. I was using an 11, but I get more of a vocal sound with the 19. It kind of sounds more like a voice, and I like that sound. So
nice.
I usually don't go for big and symphonic. I go for sort of dry and vocal, if that makes sense. That's what I like, but not today.
All right. Well, yeah. Sometimes it's just good to experiment too. All right, so let's see this one. You know what? Let's just play these right now. These are all Remington Lip Slurs, so let's just focus on. You know what? I take it back. We're gonna flutter tongue first and then play second. That's what we're gonna do. 2, right? And yeah, I keep on working on when I'm playing, just to park my embouchure in the spot that sounds the best for all the notes, and then just think about changing it, and without changing my anything other than just maybe the air. It works great. All right, your turn, Steve.
All right, let's do some lip slurs. This is a fun one. Can I just do this one straight through? That's what I feel like doing. Is that cool?
That one's a little tricky. All right, we're going to move on to these Scott Belk exercises, and these are kind of wonderful. So I want to do this first one a little bit differently than we've normally been doing. If you notice, it's a combination between like lip slurs and finger slurs. We're going to do each repeat. Let's do them 6 times. 6 times. Here we go. 2, ready, and... Ready, and... I think that's 6. All right, and... Nice. It's just actually easier to do it, you know, by the time you get to the second half, it's much smoother than the first 3 times. All right, Steve.
I have a lot of trouble with these. So I'm going to play them a lot slower than you did.
Okay. How many repeats do you want to do? Just one, just, you know, play them twice?
We'll just play it twice, yeah. Okay. Let me get my music closer here. Okay. Yeah, okay. Oh, whoops.
So it's okay to do these a little bit slower. It's okay to do these a little bit slower.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we can do them slower so we can work on making a full sound as opposed to, you know, it's not a finger exercise.
I'm not good at these. I haven't practiced them enough.
No, let's do them slow, yeah. So, real quick, Steve. Let's think of it more of like dee da dee da dee da dee, so we can keep it really steady. So it'll make it easier to kind of follow.
Okay.
So
all right,
nice.
Yeah.
And yeah, just work it as a legato study as opposed to, you know, like a flexibility study.
Yeah. Well, if you'd like to take over, you can, but I'll do it.
You know what? If Yeah, that was much better. In Steve's
The credits
defense,
is over.
yeah, in Steve's defense, he's reading off of his phone, so the notes all probably look the same. So, all right, let's do this one. We'll actually do this at that slow tempo too, and I really want you to focus on not having a gap in between these notes. We're really slurring them. We're not going to be articulating them, so we can practice that a lot better when we're doing it at a slow tempo. So here we go. 2, ready, 2 times each. Repeat, right? And... Did I forget to do the last repeat? Whatever. Did I forget to do the last repeat?
No, I don't think so.
Okay, good. All right, yeah, that was really good. It's actually harder to do slow because your mistakes last longer. So you need to make sure you got to make sure you're playing it correctly. All right, Steve, we got range. Go as high as you want to, and then we're done.
Okay. I'm done.
I probably should keep riding them up to go higher if we wanted to do them, but yeah, that's good enough for a little bit of a high range. All right.
Yeah.
And plus, my B natural for some reason is just not a good note on for me. I don't know.
Are you playing it? Are you playing it like second or first and second?
I gotta play
Or
it
third?
second. First and second is just way too flat.
Yeah.
See how flat the third is?
Yeah.
First and second is kind of good, but it's just right on the edge. Anyway, maybe there's a leak in my horn that I need to get
What about
fixed.
4-2? 4-2.
Oh yeah.
There
It's
you go.
sharp, but I can't. It doesn't even speak. So I'm thinking there's probably a leak somewhere.
No, it cracked just like a French horn. It was awesome.
Yeah, there you go. Maybe I should stick my hand in the bell and then miss all the notes.
Yeah. I mean, it's just like, it's the timbre. That's what the composer wanted. Sorry, I'm making fun of French horn players. I love the French horn. Any French horn players out there?
Yeah. No.
I have one, and I miss a lot of notes. So
All right. Well, it's 11:55. I think it's a good day to call it. Good time to call it.
It's fun.
Yeah, it was a good run through. I'm thinking tomorrow we could either go through that scale. You actually haven't worked out of the scale book. It's basically a book of 130 different scales and modes, but all one octave.
Oh, okay.
And it's a very interesting book. Except it's kind of like a bass tuba range, kind of like a little bit, bass trombone range is probably the best range for it. But anyway, so
who wrote it?
Nicholas. I'm not going to be able to pronounce his last name. Intermuhil. Anyway, he's gonna be like watching this and get really offended. But he spent a lot of time working with another tuba player. He plays tuba for the Helsinki Symphony, and
cool.
Great player. He came up with this book because people don't really practice scales and patterns enough, and it's called the Working Zone. So he's got a bunch of different ways to play it, bunch of different ways to practice scales. So it might be a fun thing to do.
Well, every jazz tubist should own it then. So.
It's good because it's not just modes. I mean, it goes into like Hungarian modes and scales based off of compositions and stuff. So it's great. Yeah, maybe we'll work on it tomorrow.
Join a Balkan brass band, man.
Nice.
No, I mean that would be cool.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Makes it easier to improv. All right.
Yeah, see you later.
Oh, see everybody. Anybody who's joining on YouTube tomorrow. We'll be here at 11 o'clock. I got a little bit of a late start because my computer was acting up. But visit us on brassbrunchbunch.com. Like the page. It'll hopefully, if you like it, then hopefully it'll send you reminders when we go live again. And we do it every day. Been doing it since March 9th. So jump on. Visit brassbrunchbunch.com. And at the top of the page, there's a link where you too could join both Steve and I, hopefully tomorrow. And you can play and you can, take a solo and get a chance to work with us. All right. So thank you so much. And I will see you all later. Keep practicing and stay safe.